Hello and welcome to Ewe Sew You. My name's Zoe and this is my crafty channel. Today's video we will be talking about February's Sew My Style, looking forward to March's Sew My Style, and talking a little bit about what I've been up to for the Recyclamal. So grab a brew, grab your latest crafting project and let's get started. So welcome to any returning viewers and a very warm welcome to any new viewers as well. Have you been doing Sew My Style? Are you joining in with the Recyclamal? Let me know what you're getting up to down below. So I have been busy with Recyclamal and with Sew My Style throughout February, and we're going to talk a little bit about what I've made so far and look forward to what I'm going to be making through March. You can actually see my finished Sew My Style and Recyclamal project to my left here. This is the Ilford jacket. I've done a sleeveless version rather than the sleeved option. I also sized down from the recommended size as I've done a shirt version rather than a jacket. So I didn't want quite as much ease as it's not needing to go over stuff. So why is this Sew My Style and Recyclamal? Well, that's because this fabric used to be a dress, and it used to be a dress made by my mother in the 70s. Oh yes, this fabric is older than I am. I used to wear this dress a lot as a teenager. We used to volunteer on a steam railway in Wales, and every year they had a Victorian week, and the dress was my Victorian week outfit. Even though it's not technically Victorian style, it was an Empire line dress. I will insert a picture on screen for you to be able to see what the original item looked like. So it does fall into Recyclamal. Even the buttons have been reclaimed off something else. I believe they came off a coat that I no longer wore because it didn't fit anymore and was getting tatty. So that's the Recyclamal element. Now, Sew My Style, for those of you that don't know, you actually get 2 patterns a month that you're given a discount on. And you can choose to make one or both of them, or neither. There's no sort of obligation to join in every month if you don't have the time to do so, although I am doing my best to make at least one project each month, and I've managed 1.5 this month. My half project is the Summit backpack. I'll put a picture of the pattern up on the screen as well. And again, it does also fall into Recyclamal as well as the Sew My Style. Now, there's 2 reasons why I didn't get this made in February. One is time. I left it quite late to cut out the pieces for this project, as I was waiting for some fabric that I was hoping to use for it, but then I changed my mind and used something else instead and recycled some fabric. Bags take a lot of cutting out, so leaving it until the last week of February to cut out the fabric was a bad plan. I got it all cut out. I've actually cut it out of, again I'll put up pictures to show you the original, but I've cut it out of my old guide uniform. So this is the guide shirt, and I have a guide skirt in here as well. So that's the Girl Guide skirt, and some of the lining where I didn't quite have enough of the guide uniform is out of an old pillowcase. So yeah, there are a ton of pieces. It is all cut out. There we go, that's all my pieces, all cut out, not interfaced yet because, and this is the other reason why I didn't get it all made up in February, pop that down there. I thought I had some foam for making bags in stock from when I stocked up for a handbag that I have on my list of things to make. I just need to get the hardware for that. But I didn't have foam. What I picked up for some unknown reason is fusible fleece. It's not the same as foam. So although the Summit backpack is a fairly soft backpack, it does need the foam to give it some structure. So those pieces are going to sit and wait until I get around to actually buying some foam, which is not the cheapest supply to get. So it may have to wait a little while. But it is all cut out and it's ready to go, and it does fall into both projects. And the good thing with the Recyclamal, for those of you that want to take part and are a bit worried about not being able to get things finished by middle to late April, you don't actually need to finish. There are ways to win prizes that don't involve you finishing your project. So for the Recyclamal, the purpose of it is to use those projects and those items of shop bought clothing and sheets and towels and whatever you have lying around in your house that you don't use or just don't give you any joy anymore or don't fit properly or didn't work out the way that you'd intended, and turn them into something different to work through that stash. And you can win prizes. We've had a prize donated by the lovely Carolyn in Australia. She's going to send it out directly from Queensland. And I'm going to show you in a minute some prizes that I'm working on. So there are ways to win a gift from either myself or from Carolyn. And when Carolyn has finished making part of the project that she's doing for the prize, and sends me a picture, I will share that with you. You can win a prize by posting your work in progress or your finished item or your plan on Instagram using the hashtag Recyclamal. You can also win by posting in the finished object thread that I'll open in April if you do manage to get something finished. And at the moment there is a chatter thread available on Ravelry. There's very little chatter going on at the moment, guys. So if you want to win a prize, go get chatting. I can't offer a prize from the chatter thread if there's no chatter. But I would like to. I would like to do an Instagram prize, a Ravelry chatter prize, and a finished object prize. But if there's no chatter going on, if you guys just post finished objects, it will just be finished objects on Instagram. That's fine. Because I can always save prizes for a future make-along, and there will be one coming. But yeah, do get chatting. Give yourself that chance to win a prize. I have got a couple of other things to show you relating to the Recyclamal. The first thing I want to show is a finished Recyclamal project. Do you remember that sweater I showed you that wasn't getting worn? I frogged it completely and I've made a doormat out of it. Now this is a modified, heavily modified rag doily rug. I will obviously link to the project page down below in the pattern, what have you. It's designed to be made from an old bedsheet. So I've held 2 strands of DK together to work it, but it was still coming out smaller than the pattern and smaller than I wanted. So I inserted 2 rectangular panels here, because most of them are sort of segments. The doily is designed so that you could do a semicircle and then carry it on into a whole circle if you want, but because this was going by a door, I can actually show you a picture of it in situ. I wanted to keep it semicircular, so I've made it wider, but then it wasn't deep enough for adult feet. So I've put some panels on the bottom as well. And I do have a ton of this yarn left. So I'm going to be doing a rectangular doormat for the front door as well. I'm probably going to crochet that one. But that's one finished, that's my second finished Recyclamal project. I'm really pleased with it, and I do need to make one further alteration to it. As you can see, it's quite lightweight and scrunchy. So I'm going to get some canvas at some point down the line and back it with some canvas so that it sits flat when we're walking in and out, and so that the cats can't do this. Actually, I may put the picture up this side. Yeah, the cats have claimed this mat and they keep hugging it. So I'm constantly having to flatten it out. So yes, I'll be getting some canvas to back both doormats with, just to hold them steady. The next thing that I have to show you, again relating to the Recyclamal, I have here cut out 3 project bags. 1 I will be keeping for myself. 2 will be prizes. And I will be including other bits and bobs as I come across them with the prizes. How do you guys feel about scraps of yarn and scraps of fabric? I mean, usable stuff, like little minis made up of leftover yarn and charm squares and things cut out of scrap fabric, or things that I was going to recycle that I haven't got a project for. So I can put a little bundle of fabric in the project bags and a little bundle of yarn minis. So if somebody is doing knitting and crochet recycles projects, maybe some minis from leftover yarn. If somebody's doing fabric ones, then maybe some fabric, or maybe a mixture of the two. Let me know down below what you would prefer in your prize bundle. So these are going to be drawstring project bags with handles. I'll put a picture up of the pattern that I'm using. It's not my own pattern, but it is a free pattern. So I've already cut out the fabric. So the covers and the lining are going to be old pillowcases that had on one side the alphabet and on the other side this grid. And the main body and the handles of the bag are going to be in this linen fabric that used to be a tunic and a wraparound skirt, and I will put pictures on screen so you can see the before as well. The drawstrings themselves are going to be shoelaces, because I have shoelaces left over from buying. I had to buy a job lot of shoelaces when I needed one for a hoodie. So I have quite a few shoelaces that have no shoes, so they're going to be the drawstrings for those bags. So that's prizes in progress for the Recyclamal. And that's all the makes that I've got to show you at the moment, all the works in progress and the finished projects for Sew My Style and for Recyclamal. So looking forward, as say for Sew My Style you get discounts on 2 patterns each month. So if you signed up today is the 11th of March, you would receive a newsletter on the 15th of March which would include the discount codes for the March patterns, as well as, I believe, the ones for April. So signing up now is a good time to do it. The March patterns are the Gelato dress and top and the Willa vest. Now, I am not planning on making the Willa vest this month, largely because I don't have a fabric that I would want to make it in. I'd quite like to make it as a raincoat, I think, with the sleeve option as well, so I'd need to get some fabric for that. But I will be buying the pattern and making it at some point down the line. I have, however, already bought the Gelato pattern. If you've seen my catch-up podcast video for February makes, you will have already seen this wonderful fabric that I've been gifted by Minerva. And I will be writing a blog post on this as well. But this is going to be the Gelato dress. I've decided to go for the dress option rather than the top. I'm not really a peplum top type person. I think I'll get more wear out of the dress, and it's got pockets. So that's going to be that. It is a fabric I've not worked with before. So that'll be interesting. It seems to be quite a simple make. There are a couple of interesting features though. On the top view, in the line drawing, there's a button placket down the back of the top. I imagine that's optional. There's also a peplum, which of course is optional as well. And then the dress view, when I was cutting out the pattern pieces, I noticed that there is a line that could well be a pleat down the back. But I've not looked massively closely at the instructions yet for that dress. But it's quite a loose fit, it's quite a boxy fit, so I think this double gauze with its light drapiness is going to be a good fit for that. So that's Sew My Style. April is, I believe, a fleece vest for men and a sweatshirt. So there are some good patterns coming up. So it's definitely a sweatshirt, and I think it's the redwood. I think it's the redwood vest, which is a man's vest, but could easily be done for a woman. So I'll probably be making the sweatshirt for March. Recyclamal wise, I obviously have another doormat to do. I have a bag to sew up. I have the project bags to sew up. And we'll see what else I get done between now and when I see you next in early April. So until then, happy crafting, and I will see you soon. Bye bye for now.